Once upon a dark, chilly night, a young woman named Emily was driving alone along a remote highway. Her car's fuel gauge needle pointed dangerously close to empty. Anxiety crept over her as she realized she needed gas, and the nearest place was a creepy old gas station. The gas station stood alone, surrounded by trees that seemed to reach out with twisted branches. A flickering neon sign cast eerie shadows on the cracked pavement. The gas station looked like it hadn't seen a customer in years. Emily parked her car beside a rusty fuel pump, and her headlights revealed an old, wrinkled man in overalls who seemed to appear out of thin air. His face was pale, and his eyes were sunken and empty. "Evening, young lady," he croaked, revealing yellow teeth as he grinned. "You need some gas, I reckon?" Emily nodded and handed him her credit card. The man swiped it in an ancient card reader, making a horrible scraping noise. He handed the card back with a cackle. "Be careful out here," he whispered, his voice like a chilling wind. "This place ain't right when the moon's out." Emily shivered and thanked him, then quickly hopped back into her car. As she pulled away, she noticed a distant, mournful howl that sent a shiver down her spine. She hadn't driven far when her car sputtered and came to a stop. The gas gauge still read empty. Panic set in as she realized she was stranded in the middle of nowhere. She reached for her phone but found no signal. Just then, she heard a voice outside her window. It was the old man, standing there with his twisted grin. "Problems, miss?" he asked, his eyes glittering with malice. Emily stammered. "And my car stopped. I need help." The old man's grin widened. "It must be missed the memo. This highway, it likes to play tricks on folks." He shuffled closer, and Emily could see his eyes weren't just empty. They were hollow, like endless pits of darkness. Terrified, she locked her car doors. Hours turned into an endless night. Emily's phone remained useless. She could feel the old man's presence outside her car, always lurking, always watching. One night, as the moon hung low, Emily saw a shadowy figure in her rearview mirror. It was a spectral, ghostly shape that seemed neither alive nor dead. It reached out to her with bony, skeletal fingers, its eyes filled with torment. "I guard this cursed road," it whispered. "You were brought here by that sinister man, just like all the others." Emily's heart raced. She'd been ensnared by something dreadful, trapped on this haunted highway. Summoning her courage, she fled from her car and ran toward the old gas station. As she approached the station, the old man stood there, his grin more twisted than ever. Emily realized he was connected to the supernatural horrors of this place. With a trembling voice, she pleaded, "Free me from this nightmare." The old man's grin contorted into a ghastly grimace, and he muttered strange words. The gas station trembled, and the ghostly figure emerged from the shadows, its fury directed at the old man. In an instant, the malevolent figure dragged him into the darkness, and the gas station crumbled to dust. Emily was finally free, but the horrors of that night would haunt her forever. She knew she'd never forget the cursed gas station, where a sinister pact had led to unspeakable terror. It was a place where nightmares became real, and where the boundary between life and death blurred beyond recognition. To this day, travelers steer clear of that forsaken stretch of highway, knowing the legend of the haunted gas station, a place where nightmares take shape, and where the cost of a tank of gas is paid with the currency of one's soul.